All right, let's talk about AI. There's no doubt it's poised to completely change the way businesses run. I mean, we're talking about massive efficiency gains, mind-blowing insights. It's a total game changer. But what if that exact same tool, the one that could make your company, could also be the thing that breaks it? Let's get into it.
And that right there is the huge question we're digging into today. You see, behind all that incredible promise, AI is also this landscape filled with hidden traps and some really serious risks. And getting this wrong, it doesn't just mean a project goes south, it could mean your entire business goes with it. So to help you make your way through this tricky terrain, we're going to walk through the 5 most critical risks of putting AI into practice. Think of this as your survival guide, helping you understand the dangers so you can use all this amazing power safely.
First up, we've got security. Now, when you bring in an AI, you're not just adding another piece of software. It's more like you're building a whole new wing onto your digital fortress. And the problem is, that shiny new wing often comes with a bunch of brand new, wide-open windows for attackers to just waltz right through.
And look, these threats aren't just some far-off theory. They basically boil down to 3 main problems. Attackers can try to deceive a live AI and trick it into making a bad decision. They can corrupt the AI from the inside by poisoning its training data. Or they can just try to steal the private, sensitive information it's supposed to be protecting. Let's really look at those first 2. So what's really fascinating here is the difference in tactics. On one side, you have evasion attacks. Think of this like a magic trick. It's all about fooling a perfectly good AI in real time, making it see something that isn't there. But on the other side, you have data poisoning, which is way, way more sinister. This is about sabotaging the AI from its very core, secretly feeding it bad data while it's learning so that its fundamental understanding of the world is warped.
Okay, let's pivot to our second risk, and honestly, this one is huge: your reputation. In today's world, public trust is pretty much the most valuable thing you have, and with AI, you are walking through a minefield. One wrong step, and boom, the consequences can be explosive.
This quote just nails it. An AI screw-up isn't some temporary glitch you can just patch over. The damage to your reputation can happen in an instant, and it can take years to even begin to rebuild that trust. Let's look at a perfect example of this.
So you probably heard about this one. Google's Gemini image generator had a really great intention, right? The goal was to create diverse, inclusive images and to try and steer clear of the biases you often see in AI. A pretty noble goal.
But the execution? Oh, it was a disaster. The system went completely off the rails, creating these historically bizarre and totally inaccurate images. Things like female popes and racially diverse versions of historical figures where it made no sense. It was a classic case of the AI overcorrecting to the extreme. And the fallout was immediate. You had widespread public backlash, ridicule. It was brutal. Instead of looking like a leader in responsible AI, Google took a massive hit to its reputation. It's just a perfect cautionary tale of how even the best intentions can lead straight to a PR nightmare.
All right, for our third risk, we're diving into the tangled web of rules and regulations. This isn't a minefield, it's more like a maze. And taking a wrong turn in this maze, well, it can get incredibly expensive, incredibly fast.
You see, any organization using AI has to deal with this growing alphabet soup of data and privacy laws. You've got Europe's GDPR, California's CCPA, and that's before you even get to industry-specific rules. Your AI has to follow all of these rules all the time. And the price for getting it wrong is just staggering. Take GDPR. A single data breach from your AI system can lead to a fine of up to 4% of your company's global annual revenue. For a big company, that's not millions of dollars. That's a multi-billion-dollar hit.
But wait, it gets worse. As governments are scrambling to regulate AI, the penalties they're proposing are getting even bigger. Some of the new laws on the table are suggesting fines that could go as high as 11% of global turnover. The financial stakes are just skyrocketing. So those massive fines come from regulators, but what happens when people start suing you directly? Well, that brings us to risk number 4, legal liability. This is all about what happens when your AI's decisions actually cause harm to real people, and it forces your company to walk this incredibly shaky legal tightrope. To put it really simply, if your AI discriminates against someone, or violates their privacy, or causes them harm in any way, your company is on the hook. You can be sued. And we're not just talking about getting a letter from a government agency. We're talking about massive class action lawsuits. It's a huge, huge risk.
especially in areas like hiring or loan applications where one bad automated decision can totally upend someone's life.
And that leads us perfectly into our fifth and final risk, what I like to call the operational domino effect. See, we tend to think of an AI as this one isolated system, but it's not. It's woven deep into the fabric of your operations. And when that one critical domino falls, it can set off a catastrophic chain reaction.
An AI failure never happens in a bubble. It's a cascade. First, your customer service might get disrupted. Then, the internal systems that depend on that AI start to grind to a halt. And before you even know what's happening, the stability of the entire organization is at risk.
And this is where you really see the human cost. Just imagine an AI that manages loans suddenly fails. That's not just an IT problem. That could mean thousands of people are unfairly denied a mortgage or a small business loan, potentially ruining lives and breaking all kinds of anti-discrimination laws, all because one system went haywire.
So, after all that, what's the big takeaway here? Well, it's definitely not that AI is too scary to touch. Not at all. It's that you absolutely cannot afford to be reckless. Getting through this landscape safely really comes down to two things: having the foresight to see these risks coming, and having a deep, fundamental sense of responsibility for how you build and use these incredibly powerful tools.
In the end, the biggest risk isn't the AI itself. It's how we approach it. The real danger is jumping in without thinking, without planning, with our eyes closed. So the question I want to leave you with is this: as your organization rushes to adopt AI, are you truly ready for what's coming? Is your team prepared for the challenge?